Hi, Wolfgang. Lovely
Hello.
to see you. I bumped into you in the foyer and I was thinking I really need to talk to you because you have such a wealth of experience when it comes to just software development. I mean, from your background in Steinberg, I guess, did you work on Cubase and all?
Yes.
You end up all of the sort of big...
I joined Steinberg in 1987.
Wow, okay.
And that was a time at Steinberg when they realized they have to work in teams. They should write the software as a team. And up to then it was one program, one programmer.
Right.
Only he understood what was going on.
So it's like almost the auteur approach to software programming.
Yeah, so that brought me into the lucky position to be part of the founding team of Cubase.
Wow, okay.
There was Werner Kracht, who wrote the predecessor Pro 24.
Yes, I used it, yeah.
And so they had ideas how to visualize what Pro 24 did internally. And so Werner wrote the engine, I wrote the user interface, and then very soon we were joined by Stefan Scheffler, someone who came very young directly from school to us, who also worked on the user interface. He wrote the key editor, the piano roll editor, other things.
And at the time, this stuff was groundbreaking. I mean, these were completely new ways of working, completely new ways of visualizing how to edit this stuff.
So I mean, my approach from the very beginning was this has to be easier to use, because I bought Pro 24
It was a nightmare.
I had this manual and I just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, me too.
It took me like weeks until I seen something. So it was clear this needs to be easier, much easier to use. And so that was my obsession from the very beginning. I got a Macintosh on my desk very early, and with it came like 3 books, and one was filled with user interface guidelines. So they taught how user interfaces are made that are easy to use and easy to understand. So principles like same form, same function, a standard layout of the menu bar. The menu bar is actually a table of contents, so to speak, for the program. You look at the menu and then you see grouping of elements that you can't present like 50 things at once. You have to break it up and group it, so on. And just user interface standards that very early were established on the Macintosh, like cut, copy, paste, direct manipulation. You click on an object, it gets selected, you can do something with it, you shoot commands. All that, which was already present in MacDraw.
Yeah.
And so what I essentially did was taking these paradigms, how you edit things graphically, and applied that to music using the model that Werner came up with in his engine, and there was also someone who made schematics, who draw a picture. So this is how it should look like.
So this kind of language, this visual language, is really interesting, because up to then things were much more parameter based and sort of lists of numbers and and sort of patterns and chaining, and it just didn't. It's not how musicians necessarily think, is it? But it's all we had until then.
But this Cubase was. I mean, it was the glass tape. You could see your music on the screen. You could touch it, move it around.
Well, also that notion of working in a linear fashion, so that you could see it from left to right. That was new as well.
There was already programs out there. There was Master Tracks Pro, for instance.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember it. I don't think I used it.
It didn't have like the parts you could grab.
Right.
It represented what's on the track with like blocks, black boxes, but you couldn't really manipulate it. It also has a piano roll editor, so that's where we got that cue from. So that's that was the foundation of Cubase, applying, from my perspective, applying user interface standards and to music software.
But I mean, the other thing is that, and Cubase has so often, and still to a degree does. I mean, as many of the big doors do. You know, a new UI element comes, or a new way of maybe visualizing the data, and everybody goes, "Oh, what a great idea!" And then the whole sort of the science or the art of making a user interface is advanced during that process. And Cubase was big, really big in that.
Yeah, I mean, what happens with softwares, it's really easy to understand and use in the beginning, but then when it evolves, it's difficult to add functions to software without getting in the way of the basic stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what happened to Cubase. So when I had a chance to start over in 2006, there was a period. I left Steinberg in 2002, I think, and then I had some free time, and I had to use Cubase as a musician. I didn't work on the code base anymore.
Right.
And so that forced me to be in this user seat much more. And so I learned a lot of things. And then when in 2006 I was ready to work again, and at that time Matthias Juvan, a young programmer that I hired at Steinberg earlier, we kept in touch, and he started to work on a new program. And so he was already 2 years into it, mainly creating a framework, a foundation for the software. We got together and decided, okay, let's do this together. And then I was lucky to find Jim Odom of Presonus.
That's right, so this is the foundation of Studio One, I guess, right?
We hit it off. And so that, long story short, then Jim Odom asked me, so what can you do that's better? I mean, there are so many programs out there. I said, just remove functions, make it way simpler.
It's interesting though,
way too complicated.
But the development is, the natural curve of anything like that is you attract users because people like the simplicity, and then they all want new functions, so you have to add complexity. I mean, how do you manage that? It's sort of, because sometimes people might be saying, I want this, but you know that will complicate things maybe too much, or do you?
I don't know. I think I haven't seen this being really successful with music software. I mean, it happened to Cubase. It happened to Studio One. I mean, people now activate functions and something happens on the screen and they don't know how to get rid of it.
Right.
Things like that. And
but it is complex. I mean, sure, you know, we're asking for, I mean, it is a complex thing that we did. We did audio recording, MIDI recording, sequencing, mixing, all of these things. It's not insignificant.
Yeah. So, but I think Studio One in the beginning, it was really Punktlandung. It was really received like we wanted it.
It was. Was it one of the first single window interfaces? Was that?
That's right. I was exposed to graphics frameworks, SGI.
Yeah.
So I knew, okay, it doesn't need to be multi-window. Multi-window is actually juggling windows around, moving windows on the screen is so distracting. Let's forget about it. And we don't need to make it configurable. We give the user our idea how the user interface is organized, which is optimal. And so he doesn't need to be concerned with moving windows around. There are areas that you switch on, and they are all reachable with function keys. So you're very fast to rearrange your screen. You don't even think about it. F3 is the mixer, F2 is the editor, F5 is the browser, and so on. And
So do you think that there is almost, I mean, almost in a way, it's sort of like the user doesn't always know best. It's actually that the designer is perhaps the best place to do it. But if you miss something, then you're kind of like playing catch up with somebody else. So it's
this is a constant. No, it's a challenge to see the user comes with some feature request, and so what is behind it? Is this he's thinking maybe he comes up with a workaround around something that just doesn't do the job for him. But what is his real problem? What's the source of this feature request? Is it really what he wants, or is he actually something more fundamentally?
Right.
And so, and I always try to understand that. So not.
Wow. So
don't give me the solution. Give me your problem.
It could be sort of quite philosophical in a way, the approach to it. So it's.
Of course.
Wow, okay, interesting. So, I mean, obviously things have changed enormously over the last, well, even sort of 5 years, just in terms of the amount of computing power that is under the hood, as well as AI and many other things. I mean, what are the sort of interesting parts of the recent technological changes that kind of fire your imagination?
Okay. Actually, difficult question.
Okay, all right. Maybe we could put
in
that
terms of what products should do. But for me personally, a big thing was the last year to reinvent the way I work using AI coding.
Okay.
Not as a vibe coder, but as someone who understands very well what's.
Well, they call it co-coding. Is that what it's?
AI coding. I use the Claude Code.
Yeah.
And because I'm a software architecture architect.
Yeah.
Primarily, I can specify. I can tell it exactly what to do, and I learned how to direct it.
Right.
So, and I understand. Okay, this is a context window. This is everything in this conversation is going back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I have to tailor the context for the LLM to make a good job.
Yes.
And so this enables me to do much more difficult things that are actually way over my head.
Right.
Or too complicated that I want to be bothered with it.
Well, I suppose, I mean, but as an
enabler.
as an architect, I mean, you're often writing a specification. You're working on the specifications for the engineers to sort of implement.
At least I can communicate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's a big change. I mean, and also, but the power of computing as well now has given us. I mean, outside of just AI, just the amount, say, you know, even the Snapdragon chips, the M1,
That's actually we're at a point where performance isn't such an issue anymore. Most of the machines you can buy today have so much power that most people are not able to get it to its knees. They can just throw stuff at it and it just works. And that's great.
I suppose so. I mean, do you think that it's then almost more important to spend to finesse the workflow and the UI more so around that, because the functions you could dream up could be sort of all over they could be massive. They could do all sorts of incredible things.
To make a very well-performing audio engine is still a challenge, a technical challenge.
Right.
And you don't want to waste cycles. For instance, in Opus we have instruments. You play a chord and then it fires like 200 voices. And so you still have to optimize.
Yes, I suppose so. That's true.
And understand where the performance is lost. In the code.
So, do you think that software, as a result, is getting better because of the ability to communicate with LLMs? That there are more people with varying ideas of how things should be done are now able to make the software?
Yeah, I'm a bit undecided. Vibe coding is a buzzword these days,
Yeah.
and people think they can just type a prompt and get an app and that works. That doesn't work like this. You still have to understand computer architecture. You have to understand for audio what you can do in the real-time audio thread, in the audio processing thread. You have to be able to spot this and tell the LLM there are hidden allocations. You cannot do this in the processing.
Right, this is a priority thing that needs to be...
Yeah, right. You can tell it then, okay, this, and he then understands, okay, okay, I understand, no allocations. And then he comes up with a solution which is actually advanced. So,
right. So I mean, it's a tool like everything else.
It's a tool, yes.
I mean, it's interesting. I think because it's such a big thing. I mean, obviously everybody is quite upset about generative AI when it comes to creativity, but assistive is probably where it's at for most people. Certainly for coders and people like yourself who want to make stuff.
I mean, this is for me personally exciting because it changes how I work and what I'm able to achieve in a given amount of time.
Yeah.
That's I like that.
So are you continuing to develop products yourself? I mean, is that something that
I've spent the last year trying various things. I looked into machine learning and did experiments, but nothing that would continue.
Right.
But now I recently picked up work for East West again.
Okay.
Opus is the code base that I mostly designed and wrote, so I know very well. So
right.
That's fun to work on, and I'm just getting into that.
So I mean, I think the thing is when it comes to DAW, I think maybe AI has a place in, I hate to use the word, it's like the paperclip in Word, which everybody hated. But if you could say to the paperclip in Word in your DAW, can you set me up a session that will be ready to record drums?
Yes.
Then that's useful, right? That's not replacing anything. It's just I guess dynamic and interactive templating for one example. There must be many others.
That's an interesting application. Yes, I agree. But these are things that will emerge.
Yeah.
We're just very early in this world.
So do you think there's just going to be a kind of an outpouring of new applications sort of coming soon, or do you think we've already started, or where do you see we are in the curve, in the hockey stick?
Still a few years away.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
People need to understand the technology, and they learn.
So in terms of what you're doing with East West, I guess that's because they make sample-based instruments primarily, is that?
East West is in the industry for over 30 years and has a large collection of top-notch sample libraries. Mm-hmm. The Hollywood Orchestra series, namely.
Yep.
I joined them 10 years ago, and I did their subscription service. Composer Cloud is the name.
Right.
Which gives you access for very little money to a large collection of instruments, primarily orchestral instruments, and some of the best in the industry.
I always remember, were East West the first people to do Votalk, the when you typed for the choir to...
Yes.
I remember that moment.
Word builder in Hollywood choirs.
That was like a magic moment. I remember that from NAMM many years ago, just thinking, wow.
So they had a sampler engine that they wrote themselves, but it was also in a very bad state. And so I didn't want it to work on this code base, so I had to rewrite it.
Right.
That's what I did. That was like 5 years in the making.
Wow.
I had help from Wolfgang Schneider. Wolfgang Schneider is the original author of Contact. He started the Contact project at Native Instruments. He provided us with a custom scripting engine.
Right.
With a Java script, TypeScript-based script engine that's real-time capable that Wolfgang came up with.
I guess that's the thing. I mean, it must be very liberating. I mean, when you, for instance, when you're going back to Presonus, being able to kind of just go, I'm starting from scratch. I don't have any baggage.
Yeah,
I could start. I mean, it must be
actually the best.
It's the best, right? Yeah.
That's the most fun.
Yeah.
Just so I studied the Play was the engine, Play Codebase. I picked all the good things, all the things that made it perform so well, and just created something modern and unified and combined with my with concepts and ideas I had picked up earlier, and so I had a chance to do that. And
so, what is it that gives you the most joy? Do you think is it the overall architecture, or is it the user experience? What's the part that you get the most pleasure from?
Actually, I enjoy all of it, like all the little steps.
Just finishing from start to finish.
Also, communication about the thing, developing ideas, understanding people, what they do with it. Mm-hmm. Like I talk to composers and try to find out how they work, and this is what I enjoy.
It's interesting. I think
also if the engine performs very well,
yeah.
If you can play like 500 voices and the machine still handles it.
Yeah. So no, I think in a way, you know, that you are a sort of living example of why having a singular vision and somebody who's involved in every aspect of a product will always or generally give you a purer and a clearer outcome, right?
Yes. Otherwise, things take much longer. That's the thing. I'm a hard worker, or I'm an obsessed worker. Let's put it like this. I really enjoy it, but it can be like 7 days a week, 14 hours.
Yeah.
If it's something really complicated, which needs uninterrupted attention.
The downside is you have to hold it all in memory, your own memory at the same time to be able to kind of...
You're building it up. The more you are in it, the easier it becomes.
Yes.
And this is where I have phases where I work like this, like non-stop.
Yeah.
And then at some point it's finished, and then
you relax.
I relax. But so when you are in it so intense and almost exclusively, then it builds up and becomes really...
you become more fluent, and it's easier to see.
Yeah, it's more material, the concepts and ideas.
Do you find often that you have a solution that will pop into your mind when you're not thinking about it?
Of course.
And,
that's how that works.
Yeah.
You think hard about something for a while, and then you wake up in the morning and half sleep, and okay.
That's the way. Yeah. Amen to that. Thank you very much, Wolfgang. Lovely to talk to you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.